Yo, what's happening, everybody? It's your boy Erksmac, the mad scientist,
and Vievo,
and this is the Orange Phoenix Show anime breakdown, solo leveling, episode 7, and Ninja Kamui, episode 2. But before we jump into that, Vievo, how are you today? How has your weekend been?
I'm tired.
Tired.
Adulting is hard.
Yeah, I hate it. I don't like it.
Yeah,
I
0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
Do not recommend. For the kids out there, say, I can't wait to be a grown up. I can't wait to move out of my parents' house.
That's the dumbest shit they would ever say in their entire life.
Exactly. It's so because you're gonna be paying bills, cuz.
Right?
You're gonna be paying
Taxes.
bills. Like those
401ks.
401ks, right? I'm doing my taxes right now. Like before the show started, like before we was prepping and everything. Like I was like writing numbers down, like my expenses and all that other jazz. And you gonna be able to game all day, watch anime all day.
I'm keep panicking because I feel like my old job didn't send me my W-2 because I surely do not have it, and they normally mail it out on January 31st. So
yeah,
I need to figure that out.
Ooh, man. Yeah, that's life right there. That's life. But man, we got a jam-packed show for you guys today. Solo leveling episode 7 and Ninja Kamui episode 2. Vievo, player's choice. Which one should we tackle first?
Oh, solo leveling, because I have so many notes. I have so many notes.
She has notes, ladies and gentlemen. She got notes on solo leveling, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna talk about Genu on the quest for the elixir of life, amongst other things. So Vievo, what you got for us?
So as you know, I am still in the process of reading the webtoon.
Correct.
And at this juncture in the story, the elixir of life is not a thing, like at all.
Whoa, time out. So they're deviating?
Huh?
So they're deviating from the story?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that's not to say that it might not come up in later chapters, but right now at this point in the story, okay, so when we start the anime or whatever, you know, he's back at his home with his sister. Eating fried chicken. He realizes he can't get drunk because of a blessing that he has.
Yes.
That, you know, I feel bad for him in that respect because dang, can't get drunk. But
can't forget
how about I just start from the top and go through all the differences? How about I just start there?
Yes.
Okay.
Hit us up with that. What you got?
So in the anime, he's at home eating, drinking with his sister. Then he decides to go to his room. So that's the first deviation. And overall, his character design is like different. You can, when you're reading the webtoon and you see his character design, you can see the confidence and the budding ruthlessness coming through in his character design. Whereas in the anime, you don't necessarily get that. Like, you can see that he's changed, but the extent of the change, I think, is definitely what is the word I'm looking for? Muted. It's muted.
Yeah.
So that's overall. But so he goes to his room, right? And I believe in the anime he like goes to sleep. But in the webtoon, when he realizes that he's getting these status you know, notifications that, you know, his body is constantly being detoxified, he's like, well, I wonder, you know, if it's detoxifying poisons from my body, let me check something. So he pulls out Kasaka's venom gland that he won from that snake. And I don't know if you remember, but that toxin basically would give him stat buffs, but also would debuff. Basically one of the main reasons why he didn't even mess with it was because it would cause permanent muscle damage. But because of the blessings that he has, like health and recovery, he was like, well, I wonder what will happen if I drink this, if this blessing that I have is automatically going to detoxify. So in the webtoon, he actually drinks it. And so that negative status buff that poison had, causing permanent muscle damage, actually was canceled out because of the blessing. So he got all of the benefits of having a tougher body without having to worry about permanent muscle damage. That was not in the anime.
Oh.
So that was I told you I took notes.
I see that.
So that's number one. And so then I think the next was he gets called out by Gino to have a conversation, because Gino has these aspirations to become a guild master, and in order to essentially, be the one that takes over, to establish a guild and kind of take over running the company from his dad, because we found out that he's like a rich kid. His father owns construction conglomerate, all of that kind of stuff. So Gino shows up and he's having a conversation with him. I'll tell you, like, from the tone of the webtoon and the tone of the anime was different, because like Gino walked in there like he was a menace.
Yes.
Like, just, like that confidence and that again, budding ruthlessness was coming. He walked in with his hood, his hair was covering part of his eye was glowing. Like, that was in the webtoon, and he just strolled into the restaurant like, hey, what's up? Like, in the anime. And their conversations went slightly different. So in the anime, he like basically turns him down. We're led to believe that he kind of turns him down, because at the end Gino is kind of like sucking his teeth like, oh, I gotta convince him. But in the webtoon, yes, Gino initially turns him down, but once he hears Gino out some more, he's like, okay, well, I'm only going to do this under one. Well, he's like, what do I get in return? And then Gino gives him the plans for that 30 billion won, what do you call it? Building that they're going to be using as the guild. And he's like 30 billion won. And so then Gino was like, well, I'll only do it on one condition, and that's it's just you and me doing, clearing these dungeons. And Gino is like, what? Just us? But the minimum requirement is 10 to go in to do a raid. And he was like, yeah, but, we'll just do what Dong-suk was doing. Get a party together enough that we can qualify to go in, and then we go in, because wouldn't it be better if we were able to complete these raids without any casualties or any accidents? Wouldn't that make you look really, really good? And so Gino's like, yes. And so basically Gino agrees that he's going to help him, because again, that 30 billion won, I mean, yes, he did go through that thought process, like, who knows how high I can climb in levels, 30 billion won is going to be chump change, but
that's on the webtoon.
That's in the webtoon.
That's in the webtoon.
So he agrees to help him. And then from there, I think the next scene is him exercising with Gina, his sister. And that's when he realizes that, oh, it's actually counting more than what the actual quest is set for. I wonder what happens if I continue to do it. And so I think in the anime, he does that, and it actually shows him getting like a loot, like he could choose a loot box. But in the webtoon, it just shows him completing this, but then he has a key for completing a secret quest.
Okay.
Which was going in over and above what his daily quest was. And then that's where we get the elixir of life. So in the anime, we see that, he sees the dungeon key, and then it gives the description, and it's like, oh, one of the possible rewards of clearing this dungeon is the elixir of life. That was not in the webtoon at all. He gets the key, he goes to the location where he can open the dungeon up, and he opens it not because of any elixir of life. He just wants to test the level of strength that he's attained so far. He just wants to see how strong he is.
So, okay.
That was his incentive in the webtoon.
So I think, like, I kind of like that subtle difference between the webtoon and the actual anime, because, okay, there's a lot of people that, well, I won't say a lot of people, but there's some people that has not read the webtoon. Me, guilty. So none's the wiser, because I wouldn't have known unless you said something, because you read a little bit ahead. But I think to the TV audience, that slight change, you know, makes it even more interesting, considering that his mom is in the hospital because of the poisoning, and that elixir of life can cure everything. So now it's kind of like a driver for him to accomplish this goal. And with Geno, like, I mean, with Geno turning down initially that offer, I mean, when he had that, you know, that inner thought that, okay, but what I'm doing, I can make more money by myself than sitting here partnered up with someone and have to worry about this cat over here while I handle a certain business or whatever, which that was logical thought, because Geno, for all intents and purposes, wasn't doing anything in that dungeon when he was fighting the giant spider. He was just sitting there in shiny armor, just sitting there like, okay, boss, I'll take your stuff. Whatever. And
he was in the background like, I've been working on the railroad.
Easily with a pickaxe. Like, listen, I'm gonna get all this stuff for you. I'm gonna carry your bags, dog. I got you straight.
Would you like some water, sir?
Like, hey, boss, how you doing? So the funny thing about it is that Geno is oblivious to this. Like, even though the more levels that he go up, the more confident and slightly arrogant he gets, but you know, he's stronger. But that's a natural response though. You know, like if you hit the gym and you know you showing a little bit of muscle tone, you know, you get a little arrogant. You can't help yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, guilty. I'm one of them. So you know, it's a difference. That do suck though. He can't get drunk. That really do suck. And when I saw that for the first time, I thought about Captain America, the first Avenger, when he was sitting in the bar, when no one's there, and he kept drinking and he couldn't get drunk, and because of his super soldier serum. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that really does suck. But depends on how you look at it, because you might have some issues. You know, you might want to drink a little bit and then like just forget them for the day. And he can't do that. But he don't have issues. So having that ability that he has, to me, that's OP as all get out, because you can't really get sick, because you got the toxicity level non-existent. Anything that hurts your body, it's gonna heal itself. So it is, so at no point, well, so far that you got to, the elixir of life is not in the webtoon.
I don't know that I really like that change though. Like, I can understand why. It's not that I don't like the change. I can understand why they included that to serve as a compelling reason for him to go into a possibly S level dungeon. But really in the webtoon, he was just like, I'm just trying to see how strong I am. And then he meets the gatekeeper of hell, Cerebus.
Yeah.
And
that fight was tight, man. Listen, that fight was off the meat rack. I love that fight.
That creature gave him the business in the anime.
Yeah.
Gave him the business. However, in the webtoon. Let me look at my notes.
Oh, you gotta look in your notes. And
yes.
while Vievo was looking for them, okay?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, while she's looking at her notes, this battle didn't go the way I thought it was gonna go at the beginning. I thought that he was gonna go in there and wreck. Like, he was gonna go in there and handle business like there was no tomorrow, and then it didn't go the way I thought it was. I mean, he was getting banged around like crazy, and I was like, oh, this didn't go the way I thought it would, because And I do like that. I do like the unexpected nature of this anime, because typically with tropes and with shonen and stuff like that, you once you get a little power up, you see some dominance, you see some level of dominance, and then when you see him fight the Cerberus and see him get his ass whipped, like barely coming out of there alive, I'm like, okay, all right, I'm even more vested in it. But what you got? Because you said there's a difference again with the webtoon and the anime.
Okay, so in the webtoon, before he even goes into the dungeon, it provides a little bit of context about S level or S rank dungeons, and that there's probably, I think they were saying there was less than 10. I think there was like 7, maybe 6 or 7 that have ever appeared.
Yeah.
And so they are not a common occurrence, none whatsoever. And so that's why they're super, super, super hard to clear. And he also talked about, or the webtoon talked about an island that one of them appeared on. I think it was Lagoon City, I forgot, but essentially it was a dungeon break, and essentially no humans. It was not habitable after the dungeon break.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't it wasn't habitable. So it provides that context. So he goes in there again in the webtoon because he just wants to test to see how strong he is. He encounters Cerebus. And so, yes, he starts off, he goes in there again with the confidence and the ruthless aura. And he starts engaging Cerebus.
Mm-hmm.
He realizes very quickly that his attacks are having barely any effect on Cerebus. And then Cerebus triggers its rage skill, in which all of its stats are doubled. And he's like,
yeah.
And at that
real
point,
life RPG.
Yes, and at that point, Cerebus catches him and knocks him back the first time. But it knocked him back, like his health. I want to say, his health fell below 30%. So at that point, when he realized, and then he's going through that thought process, like, I'm the player, the system wants me to be alive, I can't let the system down, so I'm going to use the system. And that's when he triggers something, but he also activates his tenacity skill, because his health fell below 30%, and so that reduced incoming damage by 50%. But then I think he triggered all of his other status buffs in addition to doing his full recovery.
Yeah.
So when Cerebus comes in at him again, he grabbed, like, while he's laying on the ground like that, mind you, in the anime, he lost his arm, but he triggered recovery, it grew back. I believe he did also lose his arm, or at least there was a hole through it. In the webtoon there was. But he recovers, Cerebus comes in, he grabs the head on the left side by the fangs. When I tell you this man did this wrestling move, and he twisted that dog's head, he broke its neck. He did some kind of crazy wrestling move, broke its neck. The other 2 dogs are like, what is happening? And then he slashes the far head on the right, takes its eyes out, and then he stabs the center head. And then all you hear is him screaming, tremble, rumble. And then the next panel is that he's won.
So wait, and he took out the dog's head one by one in the webtoon versus what he did in the anime. Oh, wow. Okay, see, I like that result a little bit better. Like, I wanted to see that wrestling move in real time. Give it to me in the anime form. You just have
to see the panel, because the dog's head is like, it's like completely, it looks like a corkscrew. Like,
wow.
It was amazing.
I don't know what the threshold is with solo leveling as the animation, because I know with Crunchyroll and everything else, like, there's a limitation on blood and whatever the case may be, but solo leveling has a lot of blood splatter. I do like the elixir of life being included, and here's why I say that. So with the webtoon, like, I'm just gonna go test my strength. So if you really think about it, like, how much anime or manga have we seen or read where you want to go somewhere just to test yourself? We've seen it, like, a lot.
It's a trope.
It's a trope, right? So I do like that little pivot, like they did with Elixir Life, because now you have a driver. Now you have like some sort of goal that Genu is trying to accomplish, and which is really, honestly, in the beginning, that's why he was in the dungeons in the first place, is because of his mom. You know, that's the only reason why he's there.
And there was another door. So he entered the dungeon, but I think the actual door that he needed to get through to go to the actual, or maybe leads to the boss, the way to the boss in the webtoon, after he beat Cerebus, he was like, I'm not going to open. Oh, let me back up. During the anime, how he was like, oh, I can go to the store and I can buy health elixirs and stuff. Didn't do that in the webtoon. That didn't happen in the webtoon. How he was like, so there were two instances. When he first got into the dungeon, he was like, I have the teleportation stone. If it gets too dangerous, I'm gonna use it. And then it started getting too dangerous in the anime, and so he pulls out the teleportation stone, and Cerebus was like, not today, and he loses it. That was also not in the webtoon. Going to the store and getting health elixirs, that was not in the webtoon. Literally, he like full recovered himself and gave Cerebus the 1-2-3 punch, and it was done. And then at the end of that, he looked at the main dungeon door and was like, I'm not going in there. I'm not strong enough. I will die. So I'm gonna leave. And so, but he won all of the same rewards, like the collar. He got the key, I think the gate key, and then he got Cerebus Fang. And he got all of those rewards. All of those that was the same.
But it seems like. Oh, I'm sorry. It seems like the anime is trying to fill some gaps, because typically, like Marie manga, we just, in some instances, that we'll fill in like the little small gaps, you know, with certain things. Like, okay, this is what we think happened, but you know, it's not really a big deal to us, because we put two and two together, and that's what it is. But I think with the anime, I think they're filling in those gaps, and maybe, you know, the writer of Solo Leveling, like, okay, after I finish it, maybe I could change this, maybe I can change that, and that's probably where, you know, he's at with it. And
I get that. I get that. But I'm starting to see almost two different characters between the webtoon and the anime. Like, I think that in the webtoon, he's starting to get further along in his journey to either ruthlessness, or in his journey to ruthlessness. Was it in the anime that he acknowledged every time he uses a buff, or no, every time he levels up, he feels like he's losing a piece of himself, or something disappears?
Yeah, well, I think he noticed his level of confidence like increasing, because he's a night and day difference character from episode 1 till now. Not the same guy, like, at all. Because in episode 1, he was like, he's not a cowardly figure, but he's like a mild-mannered kid, where, okay, am the weakest person, and I'm here for my mom type thing. And
you know what? Forget I even said that. Never mind.
Oh, gotcha. So, you know, I mean, it is a night and day difference. Oh, what happened?
No, me saying what I just said about him feeling like he's losing a piece of himself, that'll happen later. I'm sorry.
Spoilers. Shit, I see it now. I mean, I think, but because in this episode he did question himself, because, like, listen, I didn't kill a beast, I took out human life, you know, but you really had no choice in the matter in that situation. Like, Geno
was like, and I'll do it again. He was like, and I'll do it again.
I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
He said he would. But
good.
I feel like I like the Genu in the webtoons more than the Genu in the anime, but I think that's because he's further along in his descent.
Yeah.
Into the darkness. That's cliche, but and I think they're trying to, like, with the anime, they're trying to string it along and give him additional character development so people can really understand what he went through to get to where he is by the time the anime ends.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're reading the webtoon, like, you're seeing, like, you can like, just in his character design alone and how he's carrying himself, he just radiates. He, like, has an aura about him. So, but I mean, those were the main changes that or subtle differences that I saw between the webtoon and the anime. Regardless, I still liked it. Was a good show. It was good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. And honestly, I'm starting to like the fact that they are actually filling the episodes where it didn't necessarily left a huge cliffhanger, because after he see the other door, he's like, I'll be back. I damn near died on this one, but I'm gonna come back, train again, and I'm gonna come back and get through this door and see what I'm gonna do, because it seems like it's pieces to get the elixir of life. And I'm like, okay, I see that quest side of it going. And the funny thing about it is Jinho was very bold. He was like, I will keep your secret forever if you do this. Like, wait a minute, you gonna snitch? Like, did you just not see what this dude did? Like, he just saved your life. But the fact that Jinho actually stood there and turned around and kind of like looked at him and made Jinho kind of like backpedal a little bit. It's like, okay, whatever your father is doing, like, clearly, as a son, like, there's some similarities there. Like, you willing to go through, I wouldn't say nefarious means, but just some slimy means to, like, actually get this person to join up by threatening, like, hey, I'm gonna tell, because he didn't say that outright, but where we from, we know what that means. You about to snitch. You trying to snitch. So, I mean, this man can kill you right now, and that's it. But overall, I think this is a good episode. So far, I feel like the fights are getting better and better. Like the Cerberus fight, so far, that's been the best fight to me. Going through it, so I know he leveled up by several.
The next one.
Yeah, it's like level. Now, also, Dong-suk's brother, younger brother, he was like, hey, he's like, what I got left? Well, you can't deviate from that. All right, well, y'all need to stay alive until I finish this. Then I'm gonna come kill you. Which
that was all accurate. He was like, hey, what happens if I kill somebody overseas? What's the punishment? She was like, oh, you'll be tried, but you'll probably get a slap on the wrist. He was like, cool. Clear my schedule. Oh, sir, but you're booked the next 2 months. Damn. Well, make sure my schedule stays clear after that. Y'all better stay alive until I was like, wow. Oh, that's dedication.
Hey, man, listen, that's he's being studious. He's like, listen, I'm gonna like, yeah, I'm gonna do my job, but I'm gonna finish this other job after I finish this job. But y'all need to stay alive so I can finish the job. But we'll see. But I have a sneaky suspicion that he will not finish the job, considering that's Jinho. But yeah, overall, good episode. And we are going to jump into some Ninja Kamui Johagan and his, like, nefarious torture methods. I thought that dude was dead in the last episode. Like, I know he stabbed that dude like so many times in that hospital hallway. I'm like, how this motherfucker still alive? Got him hanging like upside down. I wouldn't even say butt naked, but now, he should be. He should be. He should be dead, right? So, Ninja Kamui, starts off just like how episode 1 does it, and Johagan still have these injuries, and he did this special technique where somehow or another it's been labeled as the ninja doctor said, hey, this whoever stabbed you wanted to keep you alive because I don't see how you still living.
Yep.
But apparently with ninjas in this particular show, they know where the vital organs are. They know what parts to stab you in, this, that, and the third. And with the head ninja that was part of that assassination squad at that point in time that killed his wife and kid, he had this man hanging upside down and he was stabbing him day and night. It was like, bro, no matter how many times you're going to stab me, I will not talk. He was like, all right, bet. I'm going to keep stabbing you.
No. I feel like it got to the point where like he knew he wasn't going to talk because of the code. So it just got to a point where he was like, I'm going to just stab you because revenge. Like, I'm just going to keep stabbing you.
Yeah. And if I'm tired, when I do get tired, I'm going to burn you alive. And which he did. And he was like, this right here will send you to hell. And you're going to wish it was going to end. It's going to end, but it won't end. And then he just,
and you know that he was trying to antagonize him to actually finish him off. Cause he's like, can you just kill me now? I'm tired.
Yeah.
So he was talking all that junk, trying to get him to actually just kill him. But it's like, no, I got something better for you. I'm gonna kill you, but it's gonna hurt a lot.
It's definitely gonna hurt a lot. And I mean, you mean live burning?
He said something about the skin peeling away from I was like, yo.
Yes. He painted the picture for you before he burned you alive. Yes. I mean, if I was in Joe Hagan's position, I would do the same thing. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm like, you killed my wife and kid in front of me, and like you miraculously is alive, and I'm gonna find the person that actually did this, but also I'm gonna find the people that ordered this, because it goes higher than that. So when he's fully healed, the funny thing about it that's kind of like off-putting is that he called the FBI agent, like he called Morris. I'm like, what is he going to do? Because he's not a ninja.
Only after. Yeah. That was only after he went to all of those locations trying to see if he could find clues. And I assumed that all of those locations were like stations that the plan used, but he couldn't find anything. So he figured he would try to shake whatever tree he could. I also thought it was really interesting how Morris was like, he got orders from the higher ups that he's being removed from the case and they need to drop it. And then they do the flashback where he's like looking at, you see the rooftop where he had the initial battle, and it's just covered in blood, but there's no bodies.
No.
None.
Like, gone in smoke.
And then he was like, Emma saw everything, and his boss was like, you may want to talk to her again. And so he like goes downstairs and he just yells at her, and she's like, man.
Yeah, she's knocked out. What she saw? Like nothing.
She was like, you have to play the game. Act stupid. Just act stupid.
Yeah.
Be obedient. That's when they're least expected.
Yeah, definitely.
She's
now, I didn't pick up what you just said though. Like with the head of the FBI was like, yo, the case is dropped. You know what I mean? So clearly this goes higher than what we initially thought. It wasn't Joe Hagan and the clan, because in the beginning, the head of the clan was like, we are forced to teach our methods to foreigners, right?
And so people defected.
Yeah.
And he was one of them.
Yeah, and if you defect, we're going to find you and we're going to kill you, which is crazy, because once he said that, it reminds me of Bruce Lee, right? Because Bruce Lee was teaching martial arts to foreigners, but Chinese didn't like that. The people that knew martial arts wanted to keep their practices within, and when he was teaching, they didn't like that too well. Like he had to pass some trials, like literally, to go through. So, but this is like the complete opposite of that.
Could ascertain that the big bad is Aoza, and that the ninja clan is now in service to Aoza.
The guy on the big screen?
Yep.
Yeah, because they keep panning to this dude. Like, after certain events, they keep panning to this guy. And I was like, okay. And clearly Joe Hagan know who this guy is, because he like looked at that screen and he just kept staring at it. So I like to also, the one thing I do like about this is that it's not a manga, because I researched and I'm like, I don't see a manga. This is like anime only. And the fact that it's on Adult Swim and it's not on Crunchyroll or anywhere else. Now, it is on HBO Max, but you only be able to see it like 24 hours later. Like, this is literally John Wick, but with ninjas. This is Ninja Assassin, but in anime format. This is Naruto is if all the handcuffs was off. Like, there was no holds barred. Say it again?
That last fight was amazing. The fight scenes in the last 2 episodes have been chef's kiss.
Yes.
I think that's like some of the best animation for fights I've seen in a very, very, very long time.
No doubt about it. The funny thing about it is Morris was so relaxed. If it strangely during this whole situation while the ninjas was inside and Joe Hagan was fighting that ninja that was, I don't know what that ninja technique was, because he could double himself, or they was twins. Were they twins? Because it felt like they were
I
twins.
don't know.
Because there was a lot of things happening.
One of them, and then all of a sudden 2 popped out, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, but because he had like 4 arms, I was like, where did the other 2 come from? And then there were 2 there were 2 of them, and I
was like, what is happening right
now?
I had to stop.
Some kind of technique to double himself, like you said, yeah.
So you remember that episode on Yu Yu Hakusho during the dart tournament that Hiei like stabbed the guy on the top of the head like real quick, and Ogre was with Koema and he just rubbed his eyes and like, I don't know what I just seen. Yes. I'm gonna need eye drops. Like, I'm gonna need eye drops. That was me, because I had to slow it down. Like, okay, it started off as one ninja, then it ended up splitting into 2. Now, Joe Hagan's abilities, I fully understood, but you saw it in like more of it. Like, whatever his technique is, I don't know if it's smoke, but it seems like the smoke becomes a physical entity, because it ended up like with 4 extra arms on his back. Mm-hmm. And he was able to combat multiple, actually 2 ninjas at one time. Meanwhile, Morris is over here.
I'm gonna try to shoot him.
Yeah, right.
Like, listen, he parried every single one of those bullets, and he still was like, I'm gonna try to shoot him again. Like, bro, stop. You're just in the way at this point.
If that's not the most blackety black thing to do,
I'm gonna shoot it.
I'm gonna shoot it. That was here like, bro, this gun is useless right now, dog.
Right. And then at the end, he was like, this, like, it cut right through my body armor. Who made this alien? I'm like, hence why you couldn't shoot it.
Right. You could not shoot it. It's a ninja. It's like, Joe saw the guy before Morris did, and Morris was facing the door. Like, he felt the presence of another ninja coming in. He was like, hey, man, listen, there's no more food delivered.
Wait. Huh. But what was hilarious, though, was like, after the fight, Joe basically, Higan said that he was a shinobi or a ninja.
Yeah.
And Morris was like, no way. I heard rumors. I'm like, bro, did you not just witness that
whole ordeal?
And you're saying, really? Okay.
Listen. What did the shop owner say? Don't fuck my shit up. Like, don't mess up.
And they came in there with a rocket launcher. He's gonna be so mad.
Bro, it's completely after the fact. The fight broke out in the restaurant and Joe chopped dude's head off. Well, I would go on to say he was brothers that was fighting. He chopped one of the brothers' heads off. Somehow or another, the brother's head was in the chest of the other brother on the wall. And after that one-on-one fight, you get what seems like the government with rocket launchers and machine guns, like you said, and fire all up in that building. And somehow or another, Morris and Hagan, clearly Hagan didn't get hit. And so You know what that reminds me of though? So Avatar, that the cabbage merchant. They always get his cabbage knocked over. That's what it reminds me of. Like,
listen, you know they actually hired the original voice actor to be actually in the movie.
For real?
Comes out this week too. Yeah, as the cabbage merchant.
Look, man, that poor cabbage merchant, man. He can't
live.
Didn't
matter
man.
Where he went from the streets of Ba Sing Se.
Listen, always get knocked over, man.
It didn't
like, bro,
matter where he was. If they were there, his cabbage cart was gonna get messed up. It didn't matter.
Right. That restaurant owner just said it. Like, listen, don't mess my stuff up. I'll be back. And he's gonna come back to his restaurant being in shambles and covered in blood and someone's head on a wall.
Oh no, they probably came and collected it.
Yeah, you're right. They probably did it.
I mean, there'll probably still be blood, but
see, once Morris said, "Oh, how can you get through my body armor?" and it panned over to Ozawa, yep. I'm like, okay, all right. So now there's a bigger issue going on.
Even after that, when it went to the head of the Shinobi clan, like its station, isn't it in the headquarters of the Auza? The way that it looked.
The way it looked, yeah.
I was like, oh, so he's against big corporations right now.
I had no issues with that because, excuse me, I don't think I would include Morris in this situation because physically Morris can't do anything. No. I mean, no amount of guns gonna stop the caliber of ninja that was responsible for these series of murders that was going on in the city. So very much so. Now, I will say where he is in his death is his level of perception on how things go. Now, mind you, I think that probably was like he misspoke when he said, no way, the ninjas don't. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, in the first episode, you shot Joe with your card. And you told Emma, like, this guy knows who did this. And he's not going to tell us. He's going to find out who did this and probably do the job himself. Like, that level of perception didn't resonate in the second episode. But I feel like his level of perception will play its role, like, later on down the line. That he'll figure some stuff out. As far as on the corporate side of it. Yeah.
Be able to pass him intel.
Yeah. And I do like his relationship with Emma, though. Because Emma obviously is the younger person. And you see her playing with the VR, like, yeah, well, they got cyber crimes and all this stuff going on. And he, like, smacked her in the face with, like, a rag or something.
Yeah.
So, it was definitely a lot to unpack in this episode. Joe having nightmares of his family dying and him just donning the mask again and finding out who actually did this, because now that I talked myself into it, I think he does need Morris, because now he doesn't have any leads on where he needs to go, because like you said, he went through all the hideouts. There's not a trace of them, and on top of that, you killed most of them, at least 90% of them, right, if not all of them.
Then you have more on Morris's side. He's getting orders trickling down from the top of the top to drop the case because they're covering it up. So Morris probably is the key to getting additional information, because clearly people at the top of his organization know what the hell is going on. Yeah.
But I do like the fact that there is a black character in this anime, and it's not like the usual trope. And he's actually so sort of now. I mean, him pulling out the gun now. I mean, yeah, that's black to be black, because I mean, any of us would do that in that same situation.
Alicia Kamehameha.
Yeah, he didn't do that. Oh, plot twist. What if he's a ninja himself? He just hiding it. But now that would be,
at this point,
that would be dope though. That would be dope. Or Emma, for that matter. Emma shows some she has a look that she can be, a ninja. So now I feel like, Joe has more allies. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, said Akunoichi.
Yeah, Konoichi. Better than Sakura. But
hey, now.
Sorry.
No Sakura slander. No Sakura slander. Yes, she was. Yes, she was horrible when she was a kid, but she matured. She was also a victim of what's his name's writing, because he didn't know how to write female characters. But I think he got a little bit better as the series went on. So. Yeah.
Speaking of that, I think Boruto got delayed too.
No. Well, that gives me time to read the manga.
Yeah, I think Boruto got delayed. Kaguri. I know I said the ninja doctor, but his name is Kaguri, and he's also one of the ninjas that defected, but they haven't found Kaguri yet. I mean, he nursed Joe and disappeared without a trace. So I think he's constantly in motion, and we found out that Kaguri is the one who created the disguises for changing their identity in physical form, and somehow, some way, the Ninja Clan figure out to see through that. And the only way to see through that level of technology is to have a technology type of guy, hence Azura. So we already put two and two together. Now, I kind of want to see Kaguri in action too. I want to see what he's capable of doing, because I feel like he's nasty.
That little old man? Okay.
Yes. I feel like, on the thumbnail, I feel like he's nasty with it. Like, I don't know. It's an anime trope. Anytime there is a old character, that character will quote unquote fuck your shit up. If you like, but
I mean, yeah, that is true. Yeah, Netero from Hunter x Hunter.
Yes.
I mean, Master Roshi, kind of.
Yeah. Well, Dragon Ball.
Yeah, Dragon Ball.
Yeah. Old man Yama from Bleach. Old man Yama from Bleach.
Oh yeah, yep, definitely him. He was on another level.
Netero is probably like the best old man to me. I think he
agreed.
Yeah,
he went out like a G too.
He definitely did. I mean, and it made sense because he is the guy, and the guy is supposed to face that biggest threat at that point in time.
Killua's grandfather and his father together, Silva, and what was his grandfather's name?
Man, you say that.
But them together, when they made that entrance, I was like, yo.
Hey, that was some bullshit.
I gotta go back and watch Hunter x Hunter.
That was some bullshit. They came in there with everybody cleared out. It was like, we came to fight you, cuz.
I saw some post who had the most who had the greatest rage moment.
Yeah.
And they had old boy from Mob Psycho, they had Gon, they had Ichigo when he first accidentally turned into his hollow form. There was 9 of them. And I would say Gon was the best one.
Gon is definitely the best one. He's definitely the best rage person.
And listen, he raged out so hard that he aged himself to the point where he was at his peak abilities just so he could fold you.
How pissed you gotta be for... No. I go even further. Where, how pissed you gotta be at someone where, hey, this little girl is dying. I don't give a damn. I'm coming to see you because you the one who killed my friend. So, are you ready to die now or yesterday? I won't accept any other or answers from that. That's how pissed that man was. I have yet to see anyone that pissed in an anime. Now, I see typical rages, right? You see it. But with Gon, that was different. Killer was backed up. And Killer was an assassin. And he was like,
He was like, I'm going to just let him do him. I'm going to let him do him. Because it got to the point where Killer was trying to talk to him, talk him out of it.
Yeah.
And he hit that point. He was like, yeah, I'm just going to let him.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Killer
P2 was like...
I love him.
P2 was scared, man. And she was like, listen, I will... I don't know. I forgot what he said in that moment. I don't know. He said, I'm going to kill that girl or what. But it was something that was very uncharacteristic of Gon. And you didn't think that was in him. But all of that could have been averted if Kite would have told him, one of my abilities is resurrection. Don't worry about
Kite
me.
Resurrected as a little girl.
Yeah.
Talk about, my name is not this. My name is Kite.
Right. I was like, that is Kite. Because what was funny about it... Oh, go ahead.
Gon hasn't found out that Kite is still alive yet, has he?
Yes, I think he did.
Oh, man. Okay, I got to go back and read then, because I just remember... I remember, because, you know, it kept going on hiatus because of the author being sick. I think the author was sick. But I stopped. So it was when Killua went to go get Aluka. Because Aluka's whatever her ability was that came it's insinuated that her ability comes from the Dark Continent. But he went to go retrieve her so that she could come and heal Gon because they didn't think he was going to make it. And then they were also in the process of deciding who the next chair of the Hunter Society was going to be. And then I do remember Gon being healed, but then Gon's dad did come back. That's where I stopped.
Yeah, Gene is probably like one of the most terrible fathers in America, man. I'm in the world, in the anime world. It's just horrible. Well, except for that guy from Fullmetal Alchemist. Yeah.
Hohenheim.
He'd definitely take the cake on that one.
Didn't Hohenheim like actually... Was that really Hohenheim?
I don't think that was Hohenheim. I think it was a Tucker. Tucker was the one who did like...
Shao.
Shao, yeah. I think he was the one who
spliced his daughter for sake of meeting his military research deadline. Yeah.
Yeah, like that's definitely the worst father award right there. Gene, however, he was like, "Oh shit, I got a kid. I'm gonna go dip and explore the world. Leave you to your aunt." And sorry about your luck, kid. Oh, by the way, here's a riddle on how to find me. And you're gonna go through several dangers, probably risk your life, and then if you make it through all that, you can actually see me.
There was this one meme I saw about Hunter x Hunter, and it was when they were going through the Hunter test, right? And it was when they were doing the 1v1 battles, and Killua snatched old boy's heart out of his chest, and then Gon is on the sideline like, yay, good job.
Yeah, I see that meme.
They are the most chaotic friend duo. One of the most chaotic friend duos in anime history, I feel like.
Very much so. Like you didn't see your friend like rip someone's heart out and put it in a bag. No. He didn't put it in a bag. He just had it. He was like, I got it. Oh, that's amazing. Like,
he seriously? Was like, whoa.
Like seriously.
Like it was a magic trick.
I'm like, bro, come on, man. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That should have been your first indication that Gon's a sick man. Like that. I mean, the whole child innocence thing.
Well, Leorio is just kind of there, but
yeah, he was the one that made sense.
Pika and Killua, they are a different level.
And as a Hunter x Hunter fan, I would definitely say it needs to finish. Like it needs to finish. Like I know Togashi is in pain because a lot of people don't realize like. Well, manga creators, the people that create manga, like they have deadlines to meet and all this other stuff, and at the expense of their health. Like that's probably one of the if I had a top 5 hardest jobs or most stressful jobs in the world, being a manga artist and creator is definitely in that top 5. And people don't realize, oh, you just writing comics. Nah, you got deadlines to meet. You don't understand. You got deadlines to meet. At any moment's notice, your shit can get canceled. That means the check's gonna stop coming, and then those checks ain't really like millionaire checks and stuff like that. Like people just do it because they love it and how it used to be. I don't think it's like that now. I think that the working environment is a little bit better. But Togashi creating Yu Yu Hakusho and then Hunter x Hunter, that's like probably one of the most balanced power scales I've seen in anime outside of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure with their power scaling. Like it was just perfect. Like
I still have to finish that.
JoJo's really good. JoJo's really good. Like the whole entire saga of Dio and his effects on people, all that's on Netflix for sure. You gotta finish that. But yeah, Hunter x Hunter definitely has to finish because I feel like it's gonna be up there with One Piece as far as like storytelling and world building and everything else in between. Like you may not see Gon ever again. Like Gon probably just part of the story of Hunter x Hunter, and there's other things because you got the Dark Continent. You still have yet to see what's going on with Leorio, right? As a main forefront character, and there may be some other characters that we're missing out on.
Don't really care what's going on with him because.
Hey, listen, he called Gene out on this shit. All right, you're a terrible father. But... He smacked him. Terrible father. I mean, he could be a good president. He could be a good office person for the Hunters Association. So I can't count Leorio out because he is a smart individual. All he wants to be is a doctor, if I'm not mistaken. So, but check it, y'all. That is our show for today, and we will be back next Monday with some more anime breakdown. But tomorrow, we're definitely gonna be breaking down some pro wrestling news out there for the listeners. There's been a good bit of stuff out there. There's been a performer that is back in the wrestling world, and some people are upset about it, and some people are not so much. But we're definitely gonna jump into that on Pro Wrestling Talk live tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Do not forget to hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell, that we get notified on all of our content, anime, pro wrestling, and Blurred Talk at all facets. So Tuesday at 7, Pro Wrestling Talk, and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, myself and Boogie Blends will be talking about the latest and greatest news of the geeking world. So Vivo, you got anything else for the listeners out there?
Nothing comes to mind, but Dune Part 2 comes out next week, so I'm excited to see that. Go check it out.
Oh, what's that again? Say that one more time.
Dune Part 2.
Oh, Dune Part 2. That's right.
I'm so excited.
I haven't seen any Dune movies.
You know what? You need to at least watch the first one. I'm just really excited because I read the book.
Facial expression changed when I said that. I saw all that.
Like the judgment.
The judgment.
You don't have to watch the old ones. Watch the newest one.
Watch the newest one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the old one, it looks like it's
They struggle bust on all of the old ones. I would say that the most recent one is probably the most faithful one to the book in comparison to the older ones.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna check that out. And before we go though, we got an anime recommendation for you guys, and after every week we always do an anime recommendation, and this actually goes back a little bit. All right, Studio Trigger, Gurren Lagann. If you have not seen Gurren Lagann, go ahead and check out Gurren Lagann. It is definitely over the top, like Kill la Kill, but if you like mech type anime and stuff like that, and the whole trope of heroism, Gurren Lagann is definitely the one for you. So I will be checking out Dune. I just need to allot some time to watch it. But until next time, y'all, peace.
Bye.
You one and only.